Welcome to this video lecture series on transportation engineering. In this session, we shall discuss on the curves. Now, curves basically indicates the boundary between the pavement and the shoulder, and it avoids the undue movement of the vehicles from the pavement onto the shoulders. That means it is a dividing line in between the pavement and the shoulder. It is desirable to provide the curbs in the urban areas as its vehicular movement on the pavement is more. Hence, it actually divides the pavement and the shoulder and makes the shoulder area available or the footpaths available for the pedestrians and cycle tracks to move. Curves basically are of three types. First is the low or the mountainable curve, which allows the driver to enter the shoulder area with the little difficulty whenever required. That means if there is a congestion of the traffic, then the shoulder area can be used by the driver. Next, the height of this type of a shoulder curve is about 10 centimeters above the pavement edge and with the slope in order to help the vehicle climb the curb easily. The next type is the semi-barrier curve. The semi-barrier curve is provided on the periphery or the boundary of the roadway where the pedestrian traffic is high, and its height is about 15 centimeters above the pavement edge with a matter of 1:1 on the top up to 7.5 centimeters. It actually prevents the parking of the vehicles, but during the emergency it is possible to drive over this curb with some difficulty. That means it avoids the undue parking of the vehicles onto the shoulder area by restricting its easy climbing onto the curb and then onto the shoulder area. The third type is the barrier type, and it is provided in a built-up area adjacent to the footpaths with the considerable pedestrian traffics. The height of the curb is about 20 centimeters above the pavement edge with a steep matter or a slope of 1:0.25. From this figure, we can see the different types of curves which are provided along the boundary of the roads. Next is the road margins. Guardrails. Now, guardrails, they basically are provided at the edge of the shoulder when the road is constructed on a field which exceeds 3 meters. And it is also provided on a horizontal curve so as to provide a better night visibility to the curves under the headlight of the vehicles. We see from the figure the provision of the guardrails is being done. Here it helps on the horizontal curve to provide a better night visibility. That means the curve of the road becomes more visible, hence avoiding any sort of accidents at the corners. Next, road margins. The parking lanes are provided on the urban roads in order to allow the curb parking, and as far as possible only parallel parking is allowed as it is safer for the moving vehicles, and there should be sufficient width of say 3 meters to the parking lane in order to park the vehicles. Next is the lay pay, and they are provided near the public conveniences with a guide map in order to enable the driver to stop clear of the carriageway. It has a 3 meter width and 30-meter length with 15-meter end tappers on both the sides. Next, bus bays. As we can see from the figure, the provision of the lay bays. Next is the bus bay. They are provided by recessing the curb in order to avoid the conflict with the moving traffic, and it is located at least 75 meters away from the intersection. That means wherever there is an intersection at a distance of 75 meters away from the intersection, these bus bays they are being provided in order to avoid the conflict with the moving traffic. Next, the frontage road. Frontage roads they basically are provided in order to give access to the properties along an important highway with a control access to the expressway or a freeway, and it actually runs parallel to the highway and are isolated by the separators. As you can see from this figure, that they give access to the highways and there is a provision of a separator. Next is the driveway. Driveway, it basically connects the highway with the commercial establishment like the fuel stations, service stations, etc., and it should be located away from the intersection. Next, the cycle track. It is provided in the urban areas when the volume of the cycle traffic on the road is very high, and a minimum width of 2 meters is allocated for the provision of a cycle track. Footpath also are to be provided in the urban areas when the vehicular traffic as well as the pedestrian traffic is heavy. It actually protects the pedestrian and it decreases the accidents. Next, here you can see the cross section of an highway in the hilly area. If you just observe the figure, here we have the right of way. That means the total width of road, which actually has to be acquired by the government for the construction of the road. Next, the roadway. The roadway basically includes the entire pavement area where the road actually is being constructed along with the shoulders. If you just observe, there is a provision of a drainage ditch coming way along from the slope of the hill. Here the water which flows from the hill is collected into the drainage ditch and it is suitably drained out and not allowed to come onto the surface of the pavement. Also, the cutting and embankment, both the areas are visible in the cross section of the hilly area of the pavement. Next is in regards with the cross section of the road in a built up area. That means wherever the filling or embankment is being done and the road is being built up. Here if you observe, the normal slope of 2% inward and minus 2% at the outward is provided with the provision of the maintainable curb, which allows the vehicle to move onto the truck apron or the shoulder area in the case of the traffic congestion, and 2/3 or 1/2 circulatory road width is being provided. Next, if you observe, the cross section of the flexible pavement and the cross section of the rigid pavement, we can see the different courses provided in both these pavements. First, the cross section of the flexible pavement. If you observe here, along the roadway width, the flexible pavement includes the shoulders, earthen shoulders, then the treated shoulders, then the total carriageway, and the various layers which constitute to form a flexible pavement. Starting from the top are the wearing course, followed by the binder course, then the base course, then the sub base course, and the subgrade. These all form the flexible pavement. Whereas the cross section of the rigid pavement, it includes the earthen shoulder, the treated shoulder, and the carriageway. And the total layers starting from the top to the bottom of the rigid pavement includes: first is the cement concrete layer, second is the base course, and lastly the subgrade course. With this we shall stop here. Thank you.